I came here originally just myself with just a shopping cart and a tarp that I had found in the garbage bin. Then I found a tent in the garbage bin as well. I had really lost my way of my path, I guess, and I'm now here with a few friends and my street family. We don't choose to live in tents. The government forces us to, because how else are we going to shelter ourselves from the natural elements of nature?
I haven't met with the organizers of the the original camp. Who I have met with are some of the outreach workers that are out there visiting with the folks. As you know, housing and health and mental health, addictions, social services, CIS, all of that belongs with the provincial government. And so working really hard to provide a level of dignity and relationship.
She needs to come down from that pretty little office of hers and come and communicate with us. Come and get to know her people, as she calls us.
The homelessness crisis in Canada is only getting worse. And as you can see here in 2025, the homelessness remains a significant issue in Canada, with an estimated 265,000 to 300,000 individuals experiencing homelessness annually. This figure highlights the need for the ongoing efforts to address the crisis. So this is alarming, right? Like about 300,000 people homeless in Canada. So here it says it's driven by factors such as inflation, rising housing costs, and economic downturns. So yeah, like all the usual culprits. In this next clip here, we'll hear the story of these elderly citizens and how it is that they ended up being homeless.
In this tent lives 77-year-old Judy Howe with her 80-year-old partner George, a situation she never imagined to be in. She says they had an apartment in Halifax before the building was sold and to be torn down. After that, they went to Ontario to be with George's dying mother, but they couldn't afford to stay there and chose to return to Halifax.
It's not home. You know, it's not a place you can cook a meal for yourself. You can take a shower. We go up to the Y on Park Street here. I always get lost trying to find my way out. And that's where we shower at. And you can go there every day if you want, you know. And thank God they have that service. But it's not where I want to be. I go to bed crying at night. At night I go to bed crying and I pray to God, asking him to get me out of here. I need to be out of here.
With the couple's deteriorating health, a volunteer street navigator is desperate to get them into affordable housing.
Judy is the age that my mom would be if she was still alive. And it breaks my heart to see that people who have been born and raised in Canada and Nova Scotia are now having to face this.
Yeah, so I don't know, would they be, I don't think those are boomers, right? Let me just check it real quick. So boomers will be 61 to 79. Yeah, so those people, they will be considered boomers, right? Because they were 77. So for those people who are always like, oh, the boomers, they don't want the housing market to crash because like they are all millionaires. That's not always the case, as you can see here, right? It was just completely heartbreaking seeing that woman break down on camera like that. Honestly speaking, no one should have to be homeless, especially in a country as cold as Canada, especially not our senior citizens. It's not like as if she stopped paying her rent. It sounds like they were just renovicted, right? The famous renoviction. So it's not really clear to me how something like this was allowed to happen, but I don't know how it works in Nova Scotia, but in Ontario, like, it's highly tenant friendly, and Quebec is also highly tenant friendly. And honestly, Quebec are really doing it right. Like as a tenant, if in Quebec, if once you clock 70 years old, you're pretty much almost safe. Like you're almost bulletproof, that nobody can evict you anymore. And I think that like it's really a good thing that they have going on in Quebec for their tenants, especially how they really take care of their seniors, because these people have really put in the time, right? So they shouldn't have to be homeless at such a tender age.
So there's no shelters available anywhere, none. Not that a homeless person would be able to even pay for their cell phone bill every single month and call every 2 hours like you tell people. Call back in 2 hours, call back in 2 hours, call back in 2 hours. Everywhere, every single shelter around the GTA, not one spot available for anyone. So then, okay, they go to a park. Where else they're gonna go? It's summer. They need shade. They can literally die in this fucking heat. Die from heat exhaustion. I tell this homeless person today, stay in the shade. Go a park. They kick me out of the park. They're threatening to put me in jail again. They kicked you out of the park. Where do you actually want them to go?
Yeah, so where do you guys think these homeless people should go? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Where exactly do you think that they should go? Because I, for one, I know that I wouldn't want them in the parks that my kids go to play at, right? There's been reports of finding like needles laying around on the park. So let me know down in the comments below. Are you going to be perfectly fine with homeless camps being set up in the park that your kids play in? And besides, like in a country like Canada, like I don't think that living in a park is actually adequate. You won't be able to survive the Canadian winters. And I would really love for my tax dollars to be going towards helping my fellow Canadians to land back on their feet. But that's just me, right? Like if I got to choose where my tax dollars went, I would really be wanting it to really help my fellow Canadians first.
Where do you want them to go? There's no shelter. You kick them out of a park where they could at least have some shade, hide in a fucking tree, by a tree somewhere. But you kick them out. Where are they supposed to go? So you see them outside Tim Hortons, you see them on the fucking street. They don't want to be there. They have to be there because they have literally nowhere else to fucking go. Do you want them to just vanish? Like vanish up into smoke, into thin air? Like where do you want these people to go? There's no place for these people to go. You're kicking them out of everywhere. I just don't fucking know. I don't understand it. I do not fucking understand. We have so much land in Canada. Why cannot you take like a big portion of this land and just devote it to homeless encampment?
Can't do that. I believe most of the land in Canada is actually owned by the Crown. But I might be wrong, so please feel free to correct me. If I am wrong, I've been known to be wrong in the past. However, when I do my research, it says 89% of Canada is designated as either federally or provincially managed Crown land. So this is on the Canadian Encyclopedia, so feel free to go check it out. So I don't think they can just do whatever they want with that land.
Just tear down this land, build some shit on it, whatever. And that's like a homeless little town.
You're gonna need to ask King Charles.
If that's a bad idea, then I actually don't know. I could see why Trudeau has no idea what to do, because what else do you do? There's not enough housing, so build more housing? No. Build more shelters? I don't fucking know. I don't even fucking know what to do. Have one park that's literally just devoted to them in a city. Like, there has to be something, then you're kicking them out of a fucking park. Where are they supposed to go? They can't go inside of a store. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to chime in here with one really important point that I think she left out, which is there are some people that they are almost blacklisted on everywhere, right? Because they are either on Open Room or like all these websites that they use to publish decisions at the landlord-tenant board or at the tribunal administrative de logement or whatever the name of your housing board is. So I think a lot of people, I think people take advantage of the whole non-payment, playing with the system, and then they've ended up being blacklisted. So some of these people, even if they were employed, they'll have a hard time still finding a place as well. And I don't know how many % of people that are homeless are in that category, but I won't be surprised if it's also making it harder as well. But anyways, even if we start a homeless town, like she was saying, I guarantee you that it's just going to end up in some people rising up again in those towns, and then some people still staying down. Because that's just human nature, right? It's a whole mess, but it's capitalism, and it's just the way humans are. We tend to prey on the weak, or those that we perceive as weak. It's a cold, cold world we live in, y'all.